Hey guys,
Do your
welcome
thing.
back to Across the Web. I'm your host SPYDAWEB, and today our special guest is Teezy.
Yeah, we here.
Where are
Get
you
it.
from, and how does that affect your work?
I'm from the city of Philadelphia, and if you don't know about my city, it definitely impacts a lot of stuff that you do in a daily life. You see people dying, you see overdoses, addiction, a lot of broken homes, stuff like that. So, growing up around all that kind of stuff, it makes you want better for your life, better for your future. So, I mean, not everyone thinks like that, but a lot of people do.
City
So,
of brotherly love, right?
I'm just gonna city of brotherly
How
love,
does that how does it affect your work process or what goes into your work?
I don't want to end up like anyone who I grew up around. So, however I have to work to get to that point, whether it's work harder, work smarter, that's what I'm gonna do. And seeing that stuff growing up helps me make music that I guess you could say some people can relate to, not everyone obviously, but it helps me get some things off my chest that
I know exactly
other
what you
things
mean, bro.
can't. So, mhm.
Who are your biggest artistic influences? Who do you think wrapped the Teezy sound together from throughout your life?
Oh. You want like all time or
Let's start with
recently?
all time and then let's go into a more recent.
All time, um, all time would probably be my uncle who passed away. He was the reason I started music. Um, he was more so just like drill rap, like street rap, and then I kind of just kept it going from how I felt. But recently, like the past year or 2 years, would either have to be
I
Teezy or Rod Wave.
fuck with it. I fuck with it. Rod Wave been going
Yeah,
crazy. Bro got a
I love
voice,
Rod
man.
Wave, man. I know, man. If I could sing, it'd be over, but I can't sing. I just
I
be.
think everyone can sing. It just takes practice.
Yeah, definitely. A lot
Where
of
do you?
practice.
I mean, I'm sure you get a lot of your inspiration from just like looking around you and looking at the stuff that you see on the daily. But when you are feeling drained or out of inspiration, what do you do to get that pump going back?
If I'm gonna be honest, I haven't 100% mastered that. If I'm struggling with music, there's days where I'll walk away. Sometimes that's all you can do. Um, Other days, uh, a little bit of alcohol or a little bit of coffee, something just to get the brain going. Sometimes eating will help. Um, but a lot of times I'll just walk away, take a break. That's all I can do. I can't. I've learned to not
I mean, that's
force my music. Just let
real.
it come.
Like that's one thing
So,
I've gotten significantly better at it since when I started. I've done a lot of things to try and find a way to minimize time wasted at all. Because like if I walk away from it, I'm a
hmm
feel guilty, and that's a thought that I have in my head
yeah.
processing. So it's like that eating thing is a big thing. Like if you're hungry, you're not working correctly. It's if you're thirsty, your
Yeah.
brain's not working correctly. Uh,
I got
Bro,
3 water
I
bottles
feel
right
I'm
next
a
to me.
sweet tea person myself,
Always.
which isn't as good as water for you,
hmm
but it's got the caffeine boost for me.
I got you. I got you. But yeah, you're gonna feel guilty. I feel guilty. Like last night, like 1 a.m. I'm laying there like I should record, and then it's like it's 1 a.m. I got work tomorrow, and then I start feeling guilty. But it's like I'm starting to come to the realization as there's no rush. Um, there's no rush to this. There's people who get successful at 17, and
I
there's people who
found
don't get successful till
I found
30.
one thing that
You can't
helps
rush
me on
it.
those days is every single day, regardless of whether or not I even get a line down to record, I sing 3 songs all the
Yeah.
way through of like artists that I like that I want to be able to hit all the notes of, that I want to be able to like master the
hmm
flows of. I get 3 songs just all the way through, sung with full energy, and that kind of helps me feel like I got something in. So it wasn't wasted because my vocals were used, they were tested. Obviously, I warm up every day, but then like you do that, and that's like almost a practice that, for me, helps me minimize that feeling of I felt useless today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I need to start warming up because I come in. I mean, I do because I don't start recording right away. I'll practice whatever, but
You
yeah, I need to
have a
definitely
good
work
video
on
for that?
warming up. But
I got you. I have one that I use.
yeah.
I got 2 that I tend to bounce between once one gets too stale for me.
All right, cool. Yeah, I mean, I record a lot. I probably have, but like the past 2 weeks, to be honest, I haven't recorded much. I've probably done 2 or 3 songs. I'm okay with that because I walked away. I took a break. My brain was done. I couldn't. It got to a point where I would come in the
I
studio,
mean,
sit for like 2
hell,
hours,
some
not get nothing
just
done.
finished that EP though, didn't
So,
you? Like that be the vibe. Sometimes you get it done, and
yeah,
your brain just wants that release for a second.
yep, yep. It's also I noticed like when I have a drop coming up, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's like anxiety or what, but I just can't get nothing going. Like I feel so much pressure, but like I don't know. I've been working on getting rid of that, so I've been doing better. I've got 2 songs. I finished the song earlier, but it's not guaranteed
I feel
that all them songs
you.
will come out.
I
You know
feel
how it
you.
is.
I I like to like try and keep a process of what I'm going to do when the song drops written out. That way, I can feel less
Hmm.
pressure to worry about it while it's like upcoming. Because, like, say, like with Burn, you know, I've got the music video coming on the 13th, and I've got the song dropping. I've got Hard to Grasp dropping later that month, and I think I have 3 or 4 more songs scheduled for months after that. That's a that to me does feel like a lot of pressure, but I have a like specific set of things I do for each one baseline that allows me to put it away until it
Hmm.
gets time for there. I I don't know if that'll help, but it
Yeah, I got
might
you.
be something to try.
Yeah, that's actually funny you say that because with this next EP I'm working on, I've been telling myself we're going to be organized. So like I haven't really come up with a title or track list, but I have a note that has like I don't know how to like a can't think of it, but it says like title, but it just says title and then track 1, track 2, track so I can
I feel
slowly
you.
start to insert them and then I'll go from there.
I've got
But
got
just
a
trying to be
similar list
more
for like the
organized.
songs that I'm working on versus what needs to be mixed versus what done. I've got doing stuff
Yeah,
really cleans up. It
that'll
changes your work process once you get into a habit of doing all that. Things definitely sail smoother.
yeah. That'll happen. That's what I did with like my beats. Like for this EP, I put like track 1 produced by so and so with their email and everything like that. So that'll definitely be something that because my whole life I've never been organized. I never had organization
I
around me,
feel
so
that.
why would I be organized? So I'm starting to take
I feel
accountability and
that.
be organized. Definitely helps.
When is your
Definitely helps.
favorite time of the day to record?
Mm, depends on the day.
I
During the
feel,
week, nighttime, always. But on like a Saturday, a nice Saturday morning,
I feel that.
awesome. Feels good to
Those
record in the
peaceful
morning.
times are the best though. When there's a lot happening.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Late at night though, definitely late at night. Late at night feels good. No matter how like, but I have my nights, you know. Some nights I'll be super tired and can't get nothing going, and then some nights I'll be
I
super
know.
tired, but I'll be super energized. It's it's but I like the nighttime, but I also like mornings. I don't know. It
It's
all depends
2
on my mood when I wake up.
completely different vibes that both work very well. Because at night you have this introspective, you know, sort of thought pattern and thought
Yeah.
process, and then in the morning it's real. And in my experience, it's real ready to go or like let's get things done. You know what I mean? And that,
Yeah, yeah. let's get this
Yeah,
going so that I can take care of what I need
that can
to
change
take
the
care
vibe
of
of
throughout
a
the day.
song tremendous. Like for Juice has one called Good Morning that's unreleased that he recorded like right after bro woke up, and you can tell that the
Mm,
vibe is just like
mm.
it's a good morning, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I've had days where I've recorded in the morning and recorded at night, and them days are great. Um, but it all,
Right?
like I said, all depends on the day.
How how do you feel art is important to society?
It's how people express
Yeah.
themselves. Without art, I mean, it's not directly related, but do you know the episode of SpongeBob where everyone was just regular people?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like without art, I mean, what would we be? I mean, no paintings, no music, no
It's a
movies, TV shows, no
it's a
comics.
fundamental
It would be nothing.
part of human existence.
Yeah,
Like as
yeah. It's been around.
yeah.
It's always been around. I mean, back in ancient Rome, they were drawing on walls. That was their way of telling stories, I guess
I
you would
mean,
say.
even
But
as
that's
back
art.
like
That
as far as there is time for it, there is art. As as soon as we were able
yeah,
to focus
exactly.
on, hey, I have food for later, art started existing, music started existing, all of that sort of,
Yeah.
yeah, you know what
Yeah,
I
food for
mean?
later. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, what would it you can't even comprehend what life would be without it. There wouldn't be music,
I
there
mean, hell,
wouldn't
like
I don't know.
we hear music
I
in
think it's
daily things like that isn't even like it's crazy.
yep.
It feels impossible to picture a world where it just doesn't exist.
Yeah, could you imagine going to the grocery store and all you hear is wheels
Right?
moving and people chatting? There's no music, no nothing. I
How
mean,
how do you define success as an artist?
oh man. Um, it all right, I have two opinions on this. I feel as though it depends on the person. If you're happy where you're at, say you get 800 streams a song and you have a not a big following, but you have a fan base that's loyal to you, and every time you drop, they are ready, they're listening, they're doing all that. That's successful. You have maybe 300, 400, 500, 600 people waiting for you. That's successful. You're happy. You might not be making the most money, but if you're happy and you feel successful, fuck it. But in this generation, you're not successful until you got a shit ton of money and you drive the nicest car and you got the nicest clothes. So, but I would be happy with a couple hundred people listening and
I feel you.
actually listening.
I
You know
feel
what I
you.
mean?
I think having 800 people who really care would be more important than having a whole bunch of money and people that kind of care. Because with a lot of people that really
Yeah.
care, you can turn that into something bigger, I'd say, than a group of people who only kind of care.
Yeah. People who really care, they're gonna listen to your music and they're gonna sorry, they're gonna feel your music. If and they're every song you drop, they're gonna give you feedback and they're gonna support you on it. When you have a bunch of people who are just fans of your music because it's popular, if you don't drop something
Exactly.
good, they're gonna throw you under the bus. That's how they feel.
What
Excuse me.
what do you think? What's the goal of your work? What's the purpose behind your words and your music? Who do you aim to touch the hearts of?
I make music for myself, honestly. That's how I have trouble expressing emotion to people and actually letting myself talk. But when I get in front of a microphone, it all can just come out. Um, but really, anybody who can relate to my music is who I want to listen to my music. If you felt like you never had love or you grew up in a bad environment or whatnot, I want you to listen to my music and let me know how you feel about it. But for the most part, I just make it because that's how I
No,
feel.
I like that. I like that. I think that at the end of the day, it should be our way of, it is our way of reaching out to the world. I think if we aren't using it that, I don't want to say you can do music wrong, but it's definitely less genuine if it's not an extent of your personality. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, a lot of people, a lot of people who make music just because it's trendy and they're saying the same thing that their favorite artist is saying. There's people who rap about guns, drugs, and money, and they don't have any of them. They just do it because it's a trend. And I feel like, I don't know, certain people can make it with just lies and that type of stuff, but then there's other people where people are going to listen to it and be like, there's nothing to this music. You're just saying words that have no correlation to your life. I mean,
Right.
simple-minded people might like it, but the people who truly listen to music for music and the art of it,
I find
they're not going to give a fuck
I
what you
don't
got to
like to
say.
be a judgmental person, but there are some songs I come across by
Yeah.
mainstream artists. I'm not even talking like independent artists. I'm talking songs with billions of views that I see and I listen
hmm
to and I'm like, dude, you know? Like,
hmm That's what I
yeah,
mean. That's why I said a lot. Like, there's a lot of these artists who aren't really like, it just sells. They know what sells.
there
That's all it is. But I know what you mean. I'm not judgmental at all, but
yeah,
I'm not a fan of people
it's just
who
like
lie and
I
but
feel like there's a difference between manifesting with your music and then just straight up talking to talk with your music. You know what I mean? And
hmm hmm
I feel like even
Yeah.
if you're talking to talk, you're still manifesting. You just might not be manifesting what you actually want. Because, like, if you speak it, it's gonna hit you one way or another.
Yeah, words will come true, man. You gotta watch what you
How do
say.
you how do you how do you move around the professional industry? I say professional as in our realm of professional. Um,
What do you mean by that?
like, how do you at the most business level? How do you deal with things?
Um, I'll always try to keep things sorry, keep things professional. I don't like to like you'll never really see me put my emotions on social media because that's not what I'm on there for. I'm not on there to tell you guys that I'm in my room crying right now because I'm sad. No, I mean, I don't know. I try to keep it business as possible, whether it's promoting music or doing something that has to relate to music, or even if I'm just posting like a lyric to a song, that's what I'm gonna do. But I try to
I
keep it
feel you.
as music related as
I
possible.
feel you. How does that how does that affect DMs or working with producers or etc.? How do you feel that benefits you over being I don't want to say like more personal, but for lack of a better word, like more personal with these people?
Um, so I recently just got in touch with this producer who I've been working with for past couple weeks now, and I feel like it's easier to become personal with somebody when they actually take the time to get to know you. Like if all my
Right.
information's on social media and they already know me,
You're just
there's
you're
nothing
another face
there
that has a story behind it that they you know what I mean? Yeah. But
that they don't care about. They just want the money. But when you find somebody who actually like genuinely wants to get to know you and work with you and feel the vibes that you're making, um, I feel like it definitely helps with that. But it all depends on the producer because there's still some producers who will DM me and send me a beat and then
right.
underneath it'll be like $50 lease. And it's like, bro, talk to
I
me,
know
have a
what
conversation
I
with
know
me.
what you mean with
But
that. Oh man, I think that's definitely something every artist gets hit with several fucking times, bro.
yeah,
Um,
Yeah, definitely. You got to just learn to, I mean, if it's a good beat and you like it, do what you got to do. But I prefer to find one, maybe two producers and just keep it locked in with them then. Because this EP, for the most part, was besides two beats, the rest of it was just off BeatStars because I didn't really have producers like that because everyone was tied up. But now I have this other producer, so we'll probably have a lot of songs coming out. But
I'm
that
not gonna
BeatStars
lie.
stuff
If
gets
someone hit
tiring.
me up and like, "Hey yo, I have beats that I think fit you," and then just send them to me and immediately drops the lease under, and that's it. I don't care how hard the beat is. I'm
Hmm.
probably just moving past it. You know what I mean?
They stay in my
Yeah.
my general
It's
chat
like
or my requests.
it's like I
I
mean,
don't got
at the
time
end
for
of the
that.
day, I have my own producers now. You know what I mean? Like I got a team that works to each other. So it's like
Hmm.
I don't I
Mr.
don't I don't
CEO.
have to like sit there and be like, yo, like I got a connection with these people that will sit there and work with me, not bring me something that they're gonna go give to 100 different people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. That's the cool thing about being personal with producers. You can get beats that you won't hear anybody else on, especially if you're really close with that person and they'll do deals with you. I'd rather that. I haven't had that experience yet where I've listened to a song and I'm like, wait, I have a song on this beat, but
It's
I can't imagine it's fun.
it's I've had it a few times, and I will say, you hear it, and I don't know if I'm just a cocky asshole or what, but I usually think, man, I did. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, because you're used to it. You're used to your own music. I was just gonna say that I can
I've
imagine like you'd be like,
I've
what
heard
the fuck
one
is
that I
this?
think that I thought like, okay, okay, but it's not a fun experience.
Yeah,
It might be if you like intend to, but
yeah,
if you make a song and you've got that pictured as the song and you come across it again, it feels wrong.
yeah, yeah. Anytime anyone asks me anything producer related, I always like close friends. I always tell them find one or two producers that you rock with and just keep working with them. Build a chemistry, and eventually, not that they owe you anything, but eventually they'll be willing to work with you.
It's all
I mean,
it's all a
it,
game of how can we
you
help each
got to.
other, honestly. You can bring a value to the table
Yeah, exactly.
that doesn't even have to be necessarily money or any, like if you can bring a value that someone wants to the table, they
Hmm.
are more than not going to be willing to bring a value back. And if they aren't someone you want to work with,
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
exactly. Yeah, but it, like I said, it all depends on the person. Some people would rather bounce around and find different people to work with and expand, but I'd rather just work with one guy. Geez, sorry, work with one guy and like the producer I'm working with now, I've been sending him like acapellos to make beats around my voice and stuff like that. I'd rather just do that than
Yeah,
keep bouncing around and
no,
finding.
that makes sense because that's how you get these. I mean, that's how these artists get these songs. Like, yeah, they get sent beats, you know, but like, at the end of the day, these songs are built around them.
Yeah. Funny story. Track number 2 on my EP, it's called Break Me. I sent it to you. It's Break Me New Beat. So the original beat was sold exclusively like 2 days before I bought it or was going to buy it. And I sent it to my producer and was like, is there any way you can make a beat around my voice? I'll pay whatever you got to do. And he made it. And I think it came out dope.
We have
We're excited for people to hear it. And I'll make
go ahead.
one.
We have a few
No, go
tracks
ahead.
similar to
You're
that
fine.
as well from the label that we had gotten set up and
Yeah.
all that, and then they got snatched up. So we reworked the beats for them. But I mean, at the end of the day, it comes out better. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I think it came out like after we get off live, I'll send you the original beat and you could listen to them. And I think the second one came out really good. He put it on there. I sent it back to my engineer. He remixed and remastered it. And the new producer threw a sample in it that was never in it. I think it came out really
I
dope.
really want to, man, you know what I want to sample? There's so much shit I want to sample, but I'm so afraid of dealing with it. You know what I mean? I want to sample
Yeah.
Cartman from South Park, for one. I want to sample Stan and Kyle. I want to sample their, you killed Kenny, you bastards. I want to sample that.
Like as an intro, or like when the beat breaks, throw it in there and then
Dude,
build
that
the
would
beat
be a
back up
dope
again.
ass shit for like a EDM remix. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was gonna say like a club
I gotta show
song.
you something
Yeah, that
after
would be
this
dope.
live that I kind of did like that sort of.
Yeah, that would be dope. I seen a video the other day and it was super dope. It was a guy, he was like working on samples and he sampled one of like the Weeknd songs and he gave it like a dark vibe and it came out so dope. And it was like, I was gonna send it to my producer and be like, can you do something like this? But then I was like, that'll get taken down
I
like
also want to.
immediately.
I want to sample. I want a Star Wars beat. You know what I mean? I want to get on a Star Wars beat. I want that shit to be like,
Yeah.
bum. Oh my
I can see it. I can
God.
see it. Oh
How
man.
how's
You
your
gotta get
style
on.
changed
Yeah.
over time?
Um, I I think that I grew into my voice a little bit more and I found my flow. If you, which I doubt it because we've only known each other for, but my old music, like when I was first starting out, it was very monotone. I didn't have much of a style or anything like that, but now that I have it, I'm still getting better at it every day, but it's definitely a big difference. So, unfortunately, I took down a lot of my old music like 3, 4 months ago, so people won't really be able to compare. There's still a few up, but if you were to compare this EP to the first EP and stuff that I dropped, you would hear a huge difference.
I feel a similar way. Like I still got some of my older music up, and like I have my very first song up, but like there's a good portion of music that is just gone because it doesn't need to be there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. There was especially like a lot of my old music was very bad production on my end. Like I had a cheap microphone, stuff like that, so it wasn't the greatest, but I have so much money in this setup right now, so everything sounds a lot crisper, cleaner. I'm getting professionally mixed, like I told you, so everything's coming out a lot better than it was. So I'm ready to move on with the next, aspect of the music thing instead of being stuck in the past.
Every day, chance to grow or
that way
move back.
Yeah, that way people can look up my music and hear me now instead of looking me up and the first thing that comes up is a song that's 2, 3 years old. It's like I don't sound like that anymore.
What are your favorite and least favorite parts of music in general?
My favorite part is the outcome. When you first put that beat on and you have a vision and then it starts coming together and then you get a rough mix and then you send it out to be mixed, you get it back and you're like, oh my God, this came out like far better than what I could have imagined. But least favorite has to be the long nights worrying, the overthinking, the anxiety, the mental blanks, the loading up a beat and can't even get nothing going when you were thinking about making music all day. There's a lot of things that go into it, but it's also the good part of it, That's the what is it?
Right,
the beauties in the struggle or whatever. Exactly. So, but yeah, that's
I mean,
it all depends.
I think I'm gonna find that that's a fairly common favorite answer because Amar said a very similar thing, and I myself feel very like if it's not music videos, it's getting that mix back because you sit there and you're like, this is it. You know what I mean? Like this is a culminated work that has been put together.
Yeah. They used the least favorite thing used to be like when I was first starting out was the friends that don't support it or the people who will try to bring you down because they don't like what you're doing and stuff like that.
I
But
think there's
I don't give a shit no
I think
more.
there's a lot
I,
of animosity towards small artists, just from
yeah.
I think as a whole, the game is more toxic than it is inviting, and it's really important to find those communities or
Yeah.
those areas that, like, I wouldn't always say accept with open arms, but you make a place in, you know what I mean? Because I've never been one to usually get
Hmm.
accepted into places. I tend to be one that has to come in and set my foot down and, yeah.
Yeah, you got to get your foot in the door. I hear you. Yeah, I mean, but like I was saying, I mean, just over time you learn to stop worrying about it because you'll worry yourself to death sitting here like why like we were friends for this long, why are they not supporting me?
It's like what I
You'll
tell
die
my
on that
artists,
hill.
man. I've gotten really good about. I just don't care. You know what I mean? It's like I got my
Nah,
friends,
not at all.
and you know, but there's so many people who want to be your friend without wanting to be your friend. You have to check and see who wants to be
Hmm.
around you for their benefit, who wants to be around you for a mutual benefit. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, yeah. And then there's the friends who
yeah,
they're not your friend
yeah,
until
like
you can do something
exactly.
for
Like those are not
them.
friends. Like those are people who know that you have a
Yeah, nah.
value, but don't want to put in the work to get the value. They just want to get the value, and it's not it.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah, I
you
don't
have
know.
uh hmm? Do you have a network of other artists, and how do they support you?
I mean,
See,
what do you mean by network?
no,
Because that's not like your
immediately I
network. I
think
don't
of
have a label.
closer to like what the Twitter community is, but like more
Hmm.
uh, I'd say like a Teezy community almost.
I mean, I have my people I talk to on a I guess on a daily basis or a weekly basis, however it goes. I don't know if I consider it a network though, because if you're an artist and even if you're an artist and you followed me today and you DM'd me, asked me a question, I'm gonna help you. That's just who I am. So I feel like as a to label it a network, I don't know. I mean, you could just people join whenever they want, but yeah, there's a few that I talk to on a daily basis that will be honest with me. If a song needs this or needs that, they'll tell me, and then there's ones who, if the song is good, they'll tell me it's good
I
or
feel you.
whatnot. So repost my stuff, tell me what to do, like help me out with promotional stuff, help me out with videos,
What
whatever I need.
are the best and worst things people have said about your music?
Um, so I could get when I first started out, the worst was the worst, man. I was getting it, but that was like I was on Audacity. I didn't have no plugins. I had a USB mic. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just having fun with it. So, I heard a lot of criticism. I can't remember that far back, but it was a lot of mean things that hurt my
Yeah, I feel
feelings at the time. But looking back at it, it was like whatever, man.
yeah.
Character development, sure. But recently I've gotten some pretty good feedback, like on so on Instagram, whenever I post like musical things, I'll promote it with like the paid Instagram ads. And I mean, they do a decent amount. I've gotten a few DMs from people who have seen it. I had a few people comment, and I think the one that stood out to me, not that it was really anyone like important, but he said I had a radio friendly voice, and that one made me
That
feel good.
that
I
is
was like, all
a
right,
hell
I'll
of a
take it.
that is a
So
good compliment.
Yeah, I've never heard any. It was so like complex. It wasn't like, hey, this is good or you sound good.
That's
Radio
a very
friendly. I was
technical,
like, I'll take it.
like, sort of
I'll take it.
way to describe it.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
agree with what Max O'Ray said. I heard a lot of people when I first started, so now I get much. Yeah, it's about surrounding yourself with the right people.
Yeah.
Because at the at the beginning, I think artists have a tendency, and I myself, I speak solely from experience when I say this. We have a tendency to think we're the fucking best right at the beginning. Like as soon
Mm-hmm. And we think
Yeah,
we're just
like we
gonna
start, we
blow
make
up
a song,
overnight.
and it's ass. It's ass, and we're sitting there like, oh my god, bro. Look at the horns on my head, no, like, and then
Yeah, yeah. You're
yeah,
showing
yeah.
people and they're
You
just
go
like,
back and listen to it later, and you're
yeah.
like, you know.
Bro, I deleted like, oh man, I deleted most of them that I had from Audacity, but I kept one because you always need that one to just reflect on and be like, all right, I've like on your bad days, you're like, all right, I've made it this far. I
You
can
know
keep going.
what's funny?
There's nothing stopping
I
me.
record my vocals off of Audacity. I don't like use it
Yeah,
for anything else. I just pull the vocal off of Audacity and then pop it and make the so I
really.
don't mix my own songs. I got next Apollo to do that, and he makes beautiful mixes. Me and him have been working together for. Mhm.
He mixed our
Me
song,
and him
right?
have been working for so long. Like I mean, since he was like probably my fifth song I started working with, and so
Oh
me and
wow.
him have just had a really good relationship and connection through all that. So like I have the opportunity to make my demos on BandLab sort of thing and get the idea of how I want it to sound without having to focus too
Mm,
hard into perfecting it, which allows me to work quicker
yeah.
and do more. Because, I just put down the idea and make it sound roughly like what I want it to sound, and he does his fucking magic.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. See, when I started out on Audacity, like I said, I had a USB microphone. I had a like 2013 MacBook that barely worked, and I was using Apple headphones, and I was just recording with no plugins, nothing, just raw vocals and a beat. And I didn't even know how to use it. I didn't know how to save my songs, so I would export them as one file, and then I would go back to open them up, and they would be one file, and I'm like, how do I separate this? And now, obviously, now I know what I'm doing, but
I
looking
used to
back,
do
I
this.
was like, you're a
I used to
fucking idiot.
mix it down
But
and then delete the project because I thought I wouldn't need it anymore. And it's like, no!
yeah, yeah,
Don't get rid of the phone. No, you definitely
yeah,
keep them.
yeah. But come a long way, man.
Every day we
It's
grow.
awesome.
Every day we grow.
Every day, every day.
What other interests outside of music influence your art?
Mm, I like
Our collab
cars. I like
is
shoes.
streaming. I'm sorry to interrupt. Our collab is
And
on streaming on all streaming services. It's called Hide the Pain.
mm-hmm. Sure is. Go get it. Hide the Pain featuring me. But I like shoes. I like cars, and I like clothes. And it's like that's like the number one thing in this industry. But I've been like that since I can remember. But I don't know. But when you see how cars or shoes or clothes change throughout the years, it's I don't know how to explain it, but it's like everything changes, so you just have to go with the change. There's nothing you could do. Like the music's always gonna change. Like we could wake up tomorrow and a whole different style of music will be the
I
trend. So
I
you just
don't
gotta go with
understand
it.
Yeet myself. I just woke up one day and he was
No, I
big, and
don't.
I'm sitting there feeling old all of a sudden at age 20 because I don't get it.
Nah, I don't listen to him. It's not for everybody. I'm not gonna sit here and say his
Same.
music's not good
Yeah.
because that's not me.
I
But I don't. I just don't
See,
listen
I
to him. I listen
just
to
don't
select few. So
I just don't get the appeal. I don't think it's. I'm not going to say it's trash or it's bad because people like whatever they like. You know what I mean? I just don't understand it. It's not pleasing to me, and I just don't grasp how it is. But that's not to discredit anyone else.
Yeah, I mean, certain songs, it's like no disrespect, but it's like, what is this? Because there's like clips of him on Instagram and YouTube with like just raw vocals, and you
Like,
can't
yeah, it's
understand the word that he's saying. But
yeah,
you know, to each their
it
own.
is what it is. He's there for a reason, you know.
Hmm.
I guess at the end of the day.
Appreciate it. And to answer your question, the club song, he been asking me to do a club song for like, oh man, I swear, Fuego was like my first fan. We met on Twitter, and it was just crazy. But it's coming. It'll be on the next tape.
That's
That's all I can say. But it's
exciting,
coming.
bro.
It's not going to be like your traditional club song, but it's not me being
Dude,
sad or anything like that. So I
you know
got
what we need to do? We need to
What do we need to
we
do?
need to make some real like I hate promoting it outside because I talk about drugs and music all the time, but we need to make a song that's kind of like real, you know, drink party vibe. I hate
Hmm. I'm with it. So one of the songs I just demoed for my producer. So he sent me like a 20-second or 30-second clip of a beat, and he said, "Can you put some vocals on here to help me finish the beat?" And I said, "Yeah." And it was sort of similar to that, but I get what you're saying. I mean, I don't mind because I drink and everything like that. So I'm not promoting,
yeah,
you know, killing yourself and doing like drugs that will kill you type shit. But I don't mind. I have coffee and alcohol in this cup. That's why I've been,
I like to keep
yeah.
it
But
vaguer nowadays because it's just not, you know, it's like while it's something I listen to and relate to, it's not one of those things that I want to put back out
mhm.
super heavy into the world. Like most of the songs or times I talk about drugs, I'm usually hitting them in the light that they are in, which is there's a good and a bad side to everything. You may get
Mhm.
positives from something,
Yeah, I
but
hear you.
negatives are going to come with that. You may get a terrible time with something, and there may be some benefits to it. It's always there's reasoning to everything.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's like you said, there's always going to be a
Yeah, I'd
would it
say
be a
it
cause and
would
effect? Similar, something
consequences
like that,
essentially.
right?
It's more or less like good or bad consequences. The consequences are going to apply
Yeah,
regardless, whether they're good or.
yeah. Hmm.
What do you feel is the best art piece you've ever created?
Mm. Damn, I just closed my laptop. I have my songs up. Um, like a project or just a
Hmm.
song in general?
I'd say let's go with the song.
Hmm. A song? I'd say my song "Sorry Not Sorry." It's only on SoundCloud right now, but I have had nothing but good reviews from that song. Um, and then next to that, I think the Stargazing EP is the the
I want you to
the
send me
number
that
two right there.
SoundCloud after.
I got you. I've like said, I've got nothing but good reviews on it. You can play it on the stream if you want at the
How
end.
long
I
have
don't,
you been
whatever you want to
making
do.
music?
So officially, like recording music, I want to say coming up on 2 years, but I've been writing music and like taking little audio notes since I was like maybe 11 or 12. But I never really, it was weird because I always wrote like one bar down and never really thought about it. And then when I got older and I started like 14, 15, then that's when I started to like piece it together, like maybe this is something I should do. And then I started writing music more and more. And I used to write all the time. I'll write like a hook here and there now, but most of it
I know,
just comes to me nowadays. But I do need to get
man.
back to
When I
writing.
was young, I used to, I mean, I still do this, but like if a song comes on, I'm either singing it, pretending I'm singing it, or in the process of learn singing it.
Mhm.
It
Yeah.
doesn't, like, I
Yeah, I
just
hear
always
you.
sang along with songs and shit. I've always been writing as well, like from small child, writing full pages of songs that probably suck compared to now. Uh, you know, trying to freestyle like
Yeah.
Eminem, then like Juice World, all that sort of jazz. And
So I kid you not, when I was like, I've never told anybody this. When I was like 12, I wrote down like a little
yeah,
like 3 bar freestyle, and I don't know what song it is, but like a few years later, Lil Wayne dropped a song, and I swear he stole my bars, man. But I don't remember what song it is, but like I remember listening to it, and I was like, wait a minute, I said the same thing. It was
I
just
swear
crazy. I
to
never
God,
told
bro,
anybody that,
every
but
time I make a song, I'll make a new song, and I swear I'll hear a new Juice Leak, the Kid Leroy will drop a song, or Ian Dior will drop a song, and it'll straight up have like the entire concept I just used. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not copying. It just makes it look like I'm copying because these motherfuckers are like literally like my idols, you know, and they're biggest inspirations of me. Like they're my biggest inspirations. They drop a song that's literally something I've just recorded. They're like, dude, are you kidding me?
like,
Right.
damn, they stole my idea. Um, I That's crazy because I announced Stargazing the EP, and I think like 2 days later, I seen an Instagram post of someone promoting their newest song coming out called Stargazing. I said, ah, but it's all right. It is what it is. It's a world of art. People
Everything
are gonna have the same
is a
ideas,
play of
you
each
know.
other. Like at the end of the day, there's so few original ideas stopped existing in Rome. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, to a point, I think. There's always like, but the thing is, like,
well,
everyone has their own definition
everything
of
now is
original.
derivative. I think that's the big thing. Is there's
Yeah,
nothing original
yeah.
because it's derivative. Use even if you sat there and you pluck strings on a guitar, it's not original because it's been used before in a different way. It's
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, exactly. But this world, like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, somebody could come out tomorrow, like, just like, I guess you could say, like, how when Yeet came out and everyone was like, oh, that's so original. But it's like, I mean, he's
It's
just
I
rapping
don't
and
even feel
saying
like it's original.
words.
It's the same thing that like what Playboy Cardi's been doing, Young Better.
That's
Uh,
what I'm saying. Exactly. He just does it differently. But then there is people like when Juice World came out, nobody really sounded like Juice World. No one was freestyling like Juice World. And then there's like, all the major artists in our game that came up
e-
years ago. They're all, the original, the
even
original
Juice will
sound of the
say,
upcoming
even Juice will
rap SoundCloud,
say
whatever.
his sound comes from Kanye and like it
Yeah.
all we we perfect our own variants of these things, but our original variants are still we are only as much as the team behind us. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
like yeah,
Yeah.
like a solid foundation keeps it strong. And if you have good inspirations and all that, I think it moves really forward.
Yeah. You gotta have you can't do this shit alone. There's
That's
never
one of
been
the
a successful
biggest
person who's
things
done
I
this shit
think
alone.
people need to understand very first when making music is there's this there are levels to music. There's each time where you do it based on you're having just fun, you know what I mean? You're just doing it for a hobby and having fun. And then you want to take
Hmm.
it seriously. And at this point, there's a realization that a lot of people end up quitting at. Because you
Oh yeah.
realize that people suck. You know what I mean? Like people are going to try to destroy you and just break you down because they think it's
Hmm.
funny. And
Yeah, and they do, especially it's the simple-minded people who can't fathom somebody having dreams
There's
and actually chasing their goals,
there's so
because there's
many
people that are
people who
too
are
scared to do it.
so deep rooted in jealousy that it comes out in so many different ways. People feel so
Hmm.
threatened by what they feel they can't do that they feel the need to take out on it.
Yeah, it
It
sucks. It sucks. That I feel like, but besides that, there's about two things that people need to realize in the music industry, and there's still people who make music and they don't realize is this shit is not
not free.
free,
This is it takes
and
money to make money.
it yeah, it's not free, and you need a team if you want to do anything. You'll never be
Like
successful alone.
there's
You
not a
can't do it.
you can't name anyone who didn't have a team. Like there just isn't any solo artist who had
Yeah,
50 or 60 people behind everything that happened the way that it did.
yeah, exactly. Managers,
And it's like you
promoters,
may be
everything.
able to push it as much as you can by yourself, but why? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like if you have the opportunity to have more success and more help, why not? It's like it's the same argument
Yeah,
I give to people about
exactly.
the DSP thing. People were like, "Well, your DSP shouldn't playlist for you. You shouldn't expect it to." I don't expect it to, but if there's one that does, I'm gonna choose it over one that it does more.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I mean, like I said, to each their own. I use the distributor that I use because I've been using it. I've never had, bad experience,
Oh,
but everyone has their own
absolutely.
experiences. Like that's how it goes with anything. You could buy a brand new car and someone's gonna say, "Oh, that car broke down on me. I hate it." Hasn't
Right.
given me a problem, you know what I mean? So it's all opinionated, but you know.
Let's see. And I think this is the last question.
Wow.
What is the biggest thing that you wish to change about this world with your music?
Mm. See, but like I don't know because I don't make music directed towards changing anything, but um if I could, I would just say violence. Um don't get me wrong, like I was young and reckless at a point, but growing up and being through things and seeing things, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, when is this going to be enough? Like Philadelphia has had well over 400 murders, and we're not even at that half of the year yet. So it's like, when are we going to realize what's going on here? Like we can't, everywhere though. Violence is just crazy. Why are we killing each other? We're all human.
It There's a lot of issues that need to be flattened out in a lot of
Hmm.
areas that I think all bounce off of each other.
Hmm. Yeah, it all revolves back to one thing. I can't tell you what that one thing is besides money. But it all will at some
I
point.
mean,
It'll all the dots will connect,
it's
and people will be
power.
like, "Wow,
People want power,
yeah."
and the people who want power are the
Hmm.
ones who don't need it but get it.
Yeah. That's actually what I meant to put on the last question as a bullet point.
Yeah,
Not all help
there
is
are
good
people
help.
who point you in the wrong
Like with the T.
direction because it benefits them for you not to know what you're doing.
Yep, yep. Um, but yeah, violence, um, poverty, racism. There's a lot of things. But certain things will never change. Can't change it. So it is what
I
it is.
actually
But
had someone whenever I was doing the playlisting tweets, you remember those? Uh, Whenever I was
yeah,
doing
yeah,
that,
yeah,
I got quote tweeted by like 4 A&Rs, all right, for labels that were like, "Don't do this. This is
yeah,
bad." And I'm sitting there like, "You tripping, motherfucker? Like your job is to pick certain motherfuckers who get to go to the top. Like your job is literally to
Yeah.
decide who gets to be famous by your standards. And you're out here trying to tell us that what I've tested and works doesn't work? Dude, that's predatory, straight up. Like you expose yourself.
Yeah. Yep. They just don't want because they know if we as independent artists start, there's independent
Take
artists
Russ for
who we don't even know their name and they make 6 figures a year off music because they know how to play it. But they don't want us
right.
to know that because they'll be out of a job. What do we need an A&R for if everyone's making
Exactly.
6 figures without a
There's
label
some
and you know what I mean?
labels
So,
are actually being threatened now. There's no reason to listen to these. Like that's the biggest thing is that I freak out when people are like, but A&R said this or these label dudes said this. It's like I run an independent label. Like I get it. Like these dudes are like I already explained that my shit doesn't work for everyone. It's a set thing. You know what I mean? Like these dudes pick who they
yeah.
want because they want a profit. Like
Yeah, they're just gonna
yeah,
use and
like
abuse you anyway. Fuck them. I mean, it all, you know, but we'll figure it out one day. One day we'll figure this
yes,
sauce out
sir.
and we'll all be successful.
On that note, anything you'd like to promote?
Stargazing, the EP drops all platforms April 7th. Really excited for this one. I got another EP coming out about a month or so after that one. So just stay tuned. I got a big feature coming within the next few months. Not gonna say any names yet. Just I don't want to jinx it, but I got a big feature coming, and I got a lot of music coming this summer. We're shooting for about 25 songs. That's all I'm saying. From now until the end of summer. That includes 2 EPs and then
Stargazing will be linked below when this comes.
Yep. Yep. Sure will.
Yes, sir.
Make sure y'all tune in.
Thank you guys for watching Across the Web today. Our guest Teezy. It's been awesome.
Thank you all.
And I'll see you guys in the next episode.